Hey, it's Andrew Downs. I'm proud to support Three Beards Media, and I would love to work with you. If you need merchandise for your company, organization, band, softball team, whatever, I can help. From name brand apparel to promotional items, large orders or small, online stores, and more, I can help your brand stand out. AKC Marketing is local, based in Johnston, and we are an employee-owned business, so our costs are low and our turnaround times are fast. But most importantly, we give you personal service to make sure you get exactly what you're looking for. Email me at andrew@akcmarketing.com or find me on social media and let's make some cool stuff together. Now sit back and enjoy this Three Beards Media podcast. All right, everybody, welcome to the latest episode of Like Father, Like Daughter. We've got a little different setup here. We're testing out this equipment. I think it's working pretty good. Sounds good to us, so that's really all that matters.
You just got to look at the camera.
Right. You're the one that keeps looking down at the screen.
Roll it back.
Well, the reason that we're in studio kind of together is it's a kind of a special day. I wonder what day it is.
It is my birthday.
It is Caitlyn's birthday today.
Yay.
And even though she's 24 and she is a princess.
I am not 24 anymore.
I'm 25. Sorry, 25. Jeez, I fucked that up already. We are going to tell the famous story of how Caitlyn was born.
Well, now, I'm not going to tell it.
Right. No, because Caitlyn was there, but right. So this story, I actually tell on social media every year.
He just copy and paste it from the year before.
Well, yeah, why would I rewrite it?
It's been a minute since it's just been a natural, like, storytelling.
Yes, storytelling is much better.
He's a really good storyteller. He gets it from my grandpa. So I was like, we need a live version, like conversationally, of this story so that it can be forever memorialized. Because everyone in the comments every year always says, he always tells it way
much
better in person.
Yes, so it is pretty good. So Caitlyn was born November 3rd, 1999. So we'll have to kind of start the story a little farther ahead of that. So Tracy had a doctor's appointment. It was an ultrasound. It was going to tell us the sex of the baby and pretty much, well, maybe not the sex. I don't know that we found that out right away.
20 weeks is usually, I guess nowadays.
I don't
know what it was like.
I don't know what don't make me do math. I don't want to do math.
There'd be no math. 25 years.
All I know is that we did want to find out the sex of the baby simply because if it was going to be another girl, I didn't want to have to buy a bunch of shit. So
you wanted to reuse the stuff.
Right. I wanted to reuse stuff. Right. Because I was poor and married and already had a kid. So
if I was a boy, I still would have been wearing pink, wouldn't I?
No. We would have been decked out in bear stuff. Although I should probably apologize for your bear fandom. I probably shouldn't have saddled you with that.
Yeah, I'm no longer a Bears fan, actually.
Okay, well, I don't blame you.
I'm a Niners fan because of Brock Purdy.
I don't blame you. That's fair. Fair.
I followed him, so
that's fair. Okay.
The Bears are okay.
Okay, so we're at the doctor's appointment to find out how far along Tracy is and to kind of get a due date. So actually, I'm sorry. We already had a due date. It was just a checkup at that point. So the doctor does an ultrasound and says, well, first of all, Caitlyn's
due date was supposed to be around Thanksgiving at that time of the year, which is around the 3rd week, 4th week of November. So when he did the ultrasound, he came out and he said, I think the baby might be a little farther along, about 3 weeks farther along than normal, or than we thought. And I said, okay, well, should we change the due date? And he's like, no, we don't have to do that. We don't have to do that. Again, what do I fucking know? I'm not a doctor,
I
right?
didn't go to med
It
school.
seemed to me that if it's 3 weeks farther along, you might want to let everybody know that may even touch this pregnancy at some point. Hey, due date's not actually November 25th. It's earlier than that.
Somewhere at the beginning.
Right. But, again, I'm not a doctor. I'm an IT guy at the time. What the fuck do I know? So we go home. So fast forward, we get to the end of October, 1st November, and Tracy starts to have some pains. And we go to the doctor one day, and he's like, you know what? Well, we called the doctor, and the doctor's like, you know what? Maybe you need to just take some hot baths and things like that. So I remember one of the nights, Tracy took a super hot, soothing bath, and that made her feel better. So the next day, she calls me. I'm at work. I was working for my dad at the time, and she called the doctor again and said, I'm having these bad pains. So we went to the doctor, and so the doctor was like, well, we didn't even see the doctor. We just kind of went to the hospital.
Yeah.
And they did some checks and so on, and they were like, well, I don't know that these are labor pains,
Did they think maybe like Braxton Hicks? Like
well,
maybe
I
she
didn't
was
know.
having
So
some
no.
fault
So they
infections?
what they finally said was after about an hour or so, and I think they also said she wasn't dilated. She was only dilated to like 2 or something like that. I don't know. I don't know what that means. But when we had Taylor, I remember we went to the doctor and she was dilated to something amount, and they admitted Tracy and then had her just walk the floor, which would help induce labor. So I remember saying to the doctor at the time, for you, I was like, well, this is what happened the last time. Can we just stay and she walked the floor? And he looked at me like I was a fucking idiot and was like, yeah, we don't do that. Okay, well, what the fuck do I know?
Well, you did 4 years ago.
Right.
So.
Yeah, like what do I know? So we ended up going home. Well, he said, I think what's the problem is I think that you have a urinary tract infection and the baby is pushing on your uterus and on your bladder, and that's causing the pain that you're having. So we went home. So we're sitting there and she's in a lot of pain. Like she's having pains. And I remember saying, okay, we got to call the doctor again. So it was probably 8:00 at night, and we called the doctor again. And the doctor pretty much was like, well, unless her water breaks, don't bother bringing her in. And I was like, okay. Like that seems whatever.
I don't know anything.
I don't know anything. I'm not a fucking doctor. Right. So we ended up going to home. We ended up staying home. And at some point I said, why don't you go take another hot bath? Because that helped you the other night. So Tracy went in, took another hot bath. Taylor was like 4. She had just turned 4 in September. And her and I were laying on the couch or whatever. And then Tracy said, well, I want to go lay down. And I said, well, why don't you go lay down in the spare bedroom and I'll sleep with Taylor. That way, that's not, Taylor's not coming in and bothering you and waking you up and things like that. So Tracy went in and slept in the other bedroom, and I slept in our room with Taylor. And then all of a sudden I just hear like her screaming from the living room in the hallway. So like our house was kind of like the bedroom was here, and then there's a little bit of a hallway, and then the living room's here, and then there's the back part of the house. So so she comes in, she's like, my water just broke. And I was like, holy shit. So I get up, I get out of bed, and I'm trying to figure out what to do with Taylor. And I said, let's, and Tracy was dressed. And I said, okay, let me get your bag and everything else, and we'll get to the hospital. It didn't even dawn on me to call an ambulance because I was just like, we'll get there. So I turn around to grab something, and I look over, and Tracy's like laid out on the floor in the living room, just laying there. And I'm like, what are you doing? And she's like, I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to make it. I can't move. Holy fuck, I said. So I went over and I picked up the phone and I called 911 and the 911 operator answered the phone and I said, my wife's having a baby and we can't get to the hospital. She's home. And she's like, okay, we have somebody dispatched. They're on their way. And then she's like, in the meantime, I need you to start kind of gathering some things. She's like, do you have any blankets or pillows, at the nearby? So I literally like grabbed the pillow off the couch and like flung it across the room and was flinging blankets across the room. And I was like, yep, got it, fucking done. And she's like, okay, well, do you have any old shoelaces or any old shoes laying around? And I look over and by the front door is some shoes. Well, it's fucking November. It's wet and muddy. They look disgusting. And I'm like, yeah, they're like right there. Yeah. And, no, let's back up. I'm sorry. Before we did all that, she said to me, she's like, well, I need to know if the baby's getting close. Can you see the baby's head? And I said, I don't know. She got pants on. And she's like, well, you're going to need to take the pants off. And I was like, okay. So I go over there. I look, I come back, go, I don't know. I don't see anything different. So then that's when she asked if I had pillows. And so when she asked about the shoes, I was like, what the fuck do we need shoes for?
Yeah, those are pretty nasty.
And she's like, well, you're going to need the shoelaces because you're going to need to tie the umbilical cord. And I was like, nope, not fucking doing that. I said, I'm out on that deal. I said, no, I can't fucking do that.
I'm not a doctor.
And she goes, well, sir, is the ambulance there yet? And I was like, well, no. Well, then you're going to have to do this. And I was like, they just pulled up. So they did. I saw the lights flashing. So I like hung the fucking phone up. I go running outside and I'm screaming, get the fuck in here. Get the fuck in here.
What were you wearing?
Oh, geez. That's a good.
Your like underwear, like
I was probably in gym shorts and a t-shirt because that's what I slept in. I was in gym shorts and a t-shirt.
Just running out there in your pajamas.
So they come running in and I said, I'll be right back. I gotta take my daughter. So I took Taylor and I ran her next door to the neighbor's house. FYI, not the neighbor that ran the blue light special whorehouse. We'll get to that in a second. So that's later. We'll tell that story later.
No,
everybody.
she went to Nancy, right?
Right. Yeah. Right. No, but I'm talking about.
Yeah,
some people might remember that. I'm pretty sure this lady ran a brothel out of her house next door. It was a nice Southside neighborhood, by the way, but that's just another story. Anyways, so I come back. Well, at this point, all the fucking furniture is like shoved over to the other side to the room. And there's like 8 firemen in our house and they've got her laid out. And I hear that the guy go, oh, we're not going to make it. We're going to have the delivery right here. We're going to have to have the baby right here. So I go around and I sit down and I'm holding Tracy's hand and dude, this dude is like nonchalant, like fire,
a paramedic.
Yeah. He's just like,
from the fire department.
Let me grab this over here and unwrap this and set this down. And then he's like getting this and then he's unwrapping this and he's sliding it underneath of her, and she's, screaming. And pretty soon he turns around to grab something. And one of the other firemen called his name. It was like Jim or something. I don't know. Like Jim. And he turns around and boom, like caught you on the fucking fly. You just like shot right out. And I was like, oh my fucking God. And he's like, he like caught her. He caught you. Like it was like a
football.
Yeah. Like it was crazy. And man, did you like snap right out of there? Like, so then he's cleaning,
been laboring for
right?
2 days.
So he's cleaning. Yeah. So he's cleaning you off and he puts the little pinchers on the umbilical cord and he's like, do you want to cut the umbilical cord? And I was like, nope, I've seen enough. I don't need to see anymore. I'll pass on that. So, so he cut the umbilical cord and you're crying and they're, wiping Tracy down and whatever. And so, he said, we gotta take him to the hospital. And I was all right. I said, let me call my mom because somebody had to come and get Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
So then, and this is where it's funny. I don't remember like I don't remember riding in the hospital or anything. I don't remember any of that. But I remember
it.
it's just that's the part of the story I don't remember. Yeah. I remember at the hospital, but I don't remember how I got there. Maybe I don't know if maybe mom came with I know mom and Aunt D came, and I think Aunt D took Taylor and mom took me to the hospital. That might be the way it happened. But I remember calling mom, and I'm like, Mom, you got to come and get Taylor. We just had the baby, and she goes, "Oh, you did not." I said, "Don't you hear that fucking kid screaming to death?" I said. And she's like, oh my God. Okay. Which I'm not quite sure. She must have called D because D lived on the east side. So I think mom came and picked me up, and D went to Nancy's and picked up Taylor and took her home. So then we get to the hospital, and you're in the little warming incubator type thing, to keep you warm. And they're working on Tracy, and we're there for probably 20 minutes, and all of a sudden in walks that fucking doctor. And I said, and he goes, "Why didn't you tell me those were labor pains?" Motherfucker, I said, if we knew the difference between labor pains and the other pains you said she would have, we wouldn't called you 5 fucking times. And I remember mom had to pull me out of the room because I was fucking hot. I was pissed. I was like, I better not see the word birth on that fucking bill either, I said. So
I've never heard that.
Oh yeah. So we leave and you came home and everything was fine. But what's funny about this story is and some of you people may not realize, at the time when you got health insurance, you had to pick the things that you want covered, right? It would lower your costs, right? So but it was a family plan. So 3 weeks later, I get 2 bills from the ambulance company. One for Tracy for $30, which the insurance paid for.
Nice.
And one for you for $350 fucking dollars that the insurance did not pay for. And I called the fucking insurance company and I was like, "Why did you not pay this other bill?" And they said, "Well, she's not on the plan." Well, no fucking shit. We just had her that night.
We had her. You want me to call up the insurance company?
Right. What was I supposed to do? Say, "Hold on, don't take her yet. I got to call the insurance company, make sure all this is covered." It's a family plan. What the fuck difference does it make? It's a kid. We had an extra family member. Boom. Should be covered. Right? I didn't.
Did they end up covering it?
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
They write that
they
wrong.
did. So.
Sue the doctor? Or...
No. Although I am convinced you did have some adenoid problems when you were little, and you were sick a lot, and I was convinced that it was because clearly. Well, remember I said.
Well, they said I was 3 weeks.
3 weeks further along. So that's why.
How much did I weigh when I was born?
I don't.
6 pounds.
Well, why are you asking me that?
You have a sign for Tyler.
Oh my fucking God! Here we go. Okay, so when Taylor was born, I don't even think I paid for the sign. Okay.
Oh, so you're telling me it was my aunt's or something?
It's somebody. Let's just blame Aunt Jackie. We'll just blame Aunt Jackie.
No.
Somebody bought a sign. It was a stork sign, and it said Taylor Lee Shipley.
And it held a
Jesus.
little.
How do you know you weren't even alive?
Because it was in our closet for 15 years.
Just
and I would
mocking
look at
you.
it.
It was just mocking
7
you, wasn't
pounds,
it?
10 ounces. It sure was. My baby book never even got filled out. At least got a few pages.
Well, that's Tracy's fault. What can I say?
You could have done a baby book.
Do I look like somebody that does a baby book?
Well, you like to make a lot of things.
Now I do. Now I do. That was BS before Stacy.
Yeah, clearly.
That's BS before Stacy.
Gosh,
so, anyways, no, I don't remember how much you weighed. I'm sorry, but what's funny is I remember when Taylor was born, we had just moved into that house that you were born in. We lived there. I think we moved there in August.
What was it?
On Leach, 510 Leach. And we just moved in there in July or August, and we had Taylor in September. And I think that was the first month that after Taylor was born, I think I had just gotten the electric bill for that house. And we were running the air conditioner and all this other shit. And it was a house. It wasn't an apartment. And the first electric bill was $280. And I remember being at the hospital, and that's all I was bitching about. Was that we had a $280 fucking electric bill. And Dad's friend George Brown actually sent me a check for $280 with a note that said, "Quit your fucking bitch and turn the air conditioning on for that baby." So I should have held out. I should have held out for somebody to pay that $350 ambulance bill. That's what I should have.
Jackie said, laughing my ass off. His expressions are like that night.
Oh, I was
gonna say
hot.
you were probably way.
I was way more heated. Yeah,
I don't know that we see that, Chris, very often. You know what story I've been wanting to hear again lately? Now that we're on the topic of stories, and maybe we'll have to take a break before this.
Maybe
but the night, and maybe we've told it on the pod before. The night all the Shipleys ended up in the same cell. I think we have told this on the pod, but it's my favorite story. Another one.
I'm not exactly proud of that though. Like that, looking back.
Okay, but like it didn't matter. Like now, if that were to happen, sure, you could get canceled. But it was the 90s.
I could get canceled.
Anything went in the 90s, and you were just sticking up for your family. It's just funny because
okay,
first
so
someone, and then Grandpa.
All right,
and then,
so okay, so
you're sticking up for family.
I don't want to throw other family members under the bus, but there was a sibling of mine who is closest to my age. That's all I'll say. So, that was misbehaving in her adulthood, I guess I would say, and Mom was not fucking
misbehaving.
And Mom was not fucking having it. So, we yes, well, yeah. Somebody bailed us out. I don't think anybody got bailed out. Let's tell the story, and then I'll reference Jackie's story. So, anyways, Mom went over there to give my sibling a piece of her mind. Let's just put it that way. And next thing I know, I get a call from Dad. Now, Mom and Dad lived right next door to me. That's the same house. 510 Leach. They lived on Southwest 5th. And Dad called me. He goes, I need you to go with me. Your mom just got arrested. And I was like, what? And she's like, yeah, Mom just got arrested because she's over there trying to get so-and-so out of the house, and they wouldn't do it. And so we drive over there, and we're standing outside the house. Now, again, we didn't go to the actual police station to get Mom. We drove to the house because Dad, looking back now, Dad had no intention. He was going back over there so
he was like, I'm not going to go pick her up yet.
Right. Like, so
I need to tell you a story to be in the car with me.
So we get over there, and Dad is arguing with a police officer. Well, he's outside the house. I think they called the cops again. So they ended up calling the cops. So then the cops was talking to Dad, and the cop was like, I'm tired of fucking coming over here, and you guys just need to fucking leave. And Dad was like, well, I'm not fucking leaving because
that's
blah, 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 blah. And,
I'm not leaving.
now, again, looking back, I think that the kid we're talking about was probably in their 30s or 40s. Like, I have no idea, right? Old enough, I guess, to know better. So anyways, God, you talking about getting canceled? I'm so gonna get canceled.
You're not getting canceled. You're not saying anything bad. You're telling story as it happened.
All right. So, and also because I don't give a shit what that person thinks. Anyways, so this guy starts coming out of the house towards Dad, right? And the officer is facing Dad, has his back to the guy, and the guy kept saying, "You're staying right here. You're not going over to that house." Well, this guy comes running out of the house towards Dad. So I took about 3 steps into the yard to stop that guy. And the cop grabbed my fucking arm and goes, "That's it. You're going." And immediately slapped the cuffs on me. And it's behind my back. Now, at this point, I'm probably 400 pounds. So I can barely get my arms around my back anyways. And instantly I go, "I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry."
I changed my mind.
And the guy's like, "Nope, too late. You're going." So he like slapped the cuffs on me. We walk over to the car. He opens the back of the cop car. Now, if anybody has seen the back of a cop car, it's not exactly spacious. And I believe I said, "I don't think I'm going to fit back there." And his words were, "Oh, you'll fit." And that was not good. He shoved me into the back of that car, and I'm literally like this, like up against the seat, and my face is up against the freaking grate. I mean, there's about this much room in that thing.
Just for walking?
Right.
Just for walking.
So I said, so we're in a car, and I said, what are you charging me with? And he says, disorderly conduct and anything else I can fucking think of on the way to the he was
thank God for body cams.
And I go, well, I don't have a seatbelt on and you're speeding, so I don't really want to get a seatbelt ticket. I was like running my mouth in the back seat now at this point, right? And I may or may not have said when he got me out of the car, no, that was Dad. I didn't say it. I'll tell you that story later. So we go into the little booking area, right? Mm-hmm. Now I'm not getting my mug shot. Like there's not a mug shot back there.
They're just putting you to
cool down, right?
Right.
But I'm standing there at the little booking desk, and I look down and I see a pair of shoes, and they're my mom's shoes. So at this point, I know she's around the corner, right? So I said, so he's asking me these questions. Are you depressed? No. Do you think about killing yourself? No. Can you tell me where your nearest family member is? Probably around the corner, because those are my mom's shoes, I said. The guy kind of looks at me, and I was like, I don't even know why I'm here, I said. And he goes, well, you're going to go cool off. So he walks me down the hallway, and I look, and there's Mom sitting in the other cell. Now, these are big doors with just a glass window, right? So it's not like the bars where we can have a conversation. So I go sit in this cell. It's literally a concrete cell, a concrete bench, and a toilet. Like, that's it.
That's all you get.
So I'm sitting there, and pretty soon I hear my mom go, they let Mom out. They got Mom out of the cell. And I hear my mom go, I see you got the whole fucking family in here, she says.
Oh, man. And this was like in a small town. Like
this is in West Des Moines.
Oh, it was in West Des Moines.
It's in West Des Moines. No, it's like
something.
literally if you go down like EP True and whatever that is, where that high B is there.
Yeah.
And you go farther down into West Des Moines, like you're going to Jordan Creek. Yeah. Right over there is the West Des Moines. Yeah, it's right there. So they let Mom out, and then they turn around and they let me out. And at that point, dad's at the station, right? And Mom's not letting up. So we get out, and Mom finally is like, all right, let's all go home. Nope. Went right back to that fucking house. Dad did. So now Dad gets arrested, and Dusty. And now it's a whole thing now.
No,
right?
It's a whole thing.
It's a whole thing because now Dad's arrested. Me, now I'm 20-some years old. Like I don't want any trouble.
Right.
Dad's.
Like, I just came here.
Dad's looking to prove a point at this point, so he gets arrested.
He was the king of petty.
So we get over there, and I learned this after the fact. They pulled him out of the car in the back room, and that's when he said to the cops, "Is this where you beat people up?" Is this where you beat the shit out of people? Is what he told him. Again, I don't condone this.
Where did you get it from?
Kids, I don't condone this type of action. It's deplorable, and
Listen,
you should.
I'll say it again. I said it once, and I'll say it again. The 90s were a different time. Okay, we can't judge what happened in the 90s. We don't talk. We can talk about it. We can laugh about it, but we wouldn't. In the new millennium, the new millennium, you were a new man.
And I don't. It's a family story. It is what it is. I'm just documenting it for purposes
that your future grandchildren
to always have a record. Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, like my grandkids are going to watch this format. It's probably all going to be ingrained in their brain in some kind of video. They're going to be like, computer.
Hey,
what the fuck is that?
Elon ideas.
No shit. Okay. So then, the whole deal. George from Phoenix gets involved, calls and acts like he's his lawyer.
Oh my God.
I don't know. It was just. I think they finally let him go. I don't think anybody bailed him out. It was a deal.
Okay.
It was a deal where they let everybody out. They were just like, you guys we'll let you go if you just promise to go home and leave us the fuck alone so we can arrest real criminals.
Yeah. Yeah.
And at that point, Dad was tired and wanted to go home. He was done.
He's like, I'm done being petty.
So,
What is this Denny's comment?
Ask a Des Moines police officer about the elevator right. No, I don't. Maybe I'll ask Dick Glade. I'll ask Dick Glade what that is. So that was
raised with the family chaos and arguments.
Right.
What can we say? Shipley family. We're fighters.
We're trying to change that.
We're passionate.
We're trying to change that.
We're not fighters. We're passionate.
All right, so we're going to take a break here. We're going to get a word from our sponsors. Obviously, Andrew at AKC Marketing providing our studio setup, and then Rob and Christy at Revelton Distilling. They launched a new majority. It's election time, so they launched a new majority rye whiskey, which is 51% rye, 49% corn. He's got 3 bottles for me sitting down there. I got to get down there and get it, I think, this week. And of course, Dan at Greenberry Realty and Kyle Lehman at Wintrust Mortgage. Those guys have been great. Matter of fact, they're having a Hawkeye view. If you're a big Hawkeye fan, you want to go watch Drew and Andrew at the Front Row in Clive this Thursday. We're going to have a live episode there. Fully sponsored by Kyle Lehman. Kyle Lehman's going to buy some dinner and drinks, and it's all dedicated to him. Come out. You can grab some information about Kyle and all the mortgage options that he has out there. But in the meantime, let's get a word from all 3 of those sponsors, and then we're going to come back and we're going to talk about what we've been up to since the last episode.
Making great tasting bourbon requires the perfect combination of ingredients, conditions, and time. The longer it rests, the better it tastes. Revelton Distillery's new single barrel bourbon is made from 80% corn, sourced 100% from Iowa farmers. And unlike mass-produced bourbons, each barrel of Revelton's single barrel bourbon is unique, proofed on when it tastes best. As they like to say, it'll be ready when it's ready. And to ensure the highest standards of quality and flavor, owners Rob and Christy Taylor oversee the production and bottling. Every single barrel. Iowa-born, Iowa-aged, Iowa-bottled. Try the new single barrel bourbon from Iowa's own Revelton Distillery. ReveltonDistillery.com. Whether you're buying, selling, or refinancing your home, or if it's simply time to renovate the one you're already living in, you need an experienced mortgage professional to help you analyze your financing options and to make sure the closing goes smoothly. And that's exactly what you get when you call Kyle Lehman at Wintrust Mortgage. Kyle's experience and expertise, coupled with Wintrust's rates and programs, ensures you'll get the mortgage that's right for you. You may even qualify for down payment assistance. Before you reach out to a realtor, call Kyle and get pre-qualified, empowering you to start shopping for the home of your dreams. Call Kyle at 515-473-0546. Kyle Lehman Wintrust Mortgage, 515-473-0546.
It's us.
Shouldn't be. Hold on.
When energy meets precision, anything is possible.
I'm Carter Hawley, the Chief Energy Officer of the Iowa State Cyclones. I'm full of energy on and off the court, but nothing gives me more energy than helping families find their dream home. And that's where Green Beret Realty comes in. They're more than just realtors. They're a team dedicated to getting things right for you and your family, just like we get it right on the court.
No basket. Fouls on the floor before the shot. Out of bounds.
Come on! Can you believe that? You can't take that away from me.
That call was absolutely terrible. Are you guys consciously trying to be this bad? I mean, does your mom not love you?
Have you seen how old my partner is? My back hurts already from carrying him all night. And I've heard enough out of you.
So you're gone. Fine.
Jim, are you blind?
Basket's good. We've got a three-pointer.
Sometimes it takes a team to get the call right. And when you're buying a home, you want a team that makes all the right calls. That is Green Beret Realty. And here's the best part. When you buy or sell a home through Dan at Green Beret Realty and mention this ad, he'll make a donation to the We Will Collective, helping student athletes like me thrive on and off the court.
That call's so easy, even we can make it.
Green Beret Realty, because getting the call right means everything.
All right, and we're back. Caitlyn, you're going to talk real quick. I'm going to hook something up.
Okay. Not really good at filling the air, but that's okay.
Why don't you tell everybody what you've been up to?
I got a dog. Her name is. I got a dog. I met her at a football game. I went to for one of my former students, and I named her Callahan Otto Shipley, but we call her Callie for short because I'm a huge Tommy Boy fan, and there's not a lot of girl names in Tommy Boy. But so I got a dog. Just working my normal job as usual, and really haven't been up to a lot. Going to all the football games.
Here we go. Okay, we're back.
We're back.
Ugh. I swear we know what we're doing.
Yeah, it's just
Ready?
so I got a dog. That's
I think we're good. So, yep, everybody can see us. All right. So you got a dog, named it. Tell him.
fan of Tommy Boy, the movie.
Yep.
And we were brainstorming names.
We were gonna go with something from Friends.
Yeah, I would like Chenandler Bog.
I still think that should have been it.
That's a really good one. But like this is good because Callie's 2 syllables, so it's like Callie.
Yep.
Callie come. Like
Yep.
she's done really good with that. But when I'm really mad at
She doesn't know. Let's just skip right to, because we're about 40 minutes in. We're going
Yeah.
to skip to this part. So Mom decided that we needed, and instead of just making up stuff on the fly, we bought this game called Debatable. 200 Reasons to Argue, which I don't feel like we need even 5 reasons to argue, but
We're
let alone
really good at arguing.
we're really good at arguing, because typically you're wrong and I'm right. But we'll go from here. So we're gonna pull these cards out. We're gonna pull these cards out at random, and we're gonna argue. We're gonna discuss what's on the card.
debate,
Okay,
as you
we're gonna
say.
debate. Yes, correct. So let's see here. Let's pull. Well, that first one won't apply because I know that you've never even watched that one
Just
show.
pull the whole stack out.
Well,
Put it
don't
out
tell
like
me
a
what to
deck
do.
of cards.
I'm running this show,
Clearly
which is-
not.
which is why
You see
the
how well it's going tonight.
Oh my God. rude. All right, it's your birthday. I'm gonna let you choose. Pick a card. Pick card, any card. All right.
Is cereal really just a cold soup? Yes or no?
No, that's stupid,
I would also have to agree that it's
That's a
not, 'cause
full
I feel
meal.
Like soup
right?
has like there's more things added. Like cereal, you're just putting milk and
Yeah, that's a dumb
like
card.
you're not
See,
putting any seasoning.
this is why you shouldn't pick a card.
You could argue that Cheerios could be a cold soup because if you're adding sugar to it, you're adding an extra ingredient. And cold soup is a thing. Gazpacho. That's what it's called.
yeah, I'm not into that either.
All right.
All right, let's just pick a card that will let's see, we will piss down. I feel like we'd be the same on that one. What do civilized people eat macaroni and cheese with? A spoon or a fork?
A spoon.
Yeah, it's a spoon.
Yeah.
I feel
People
like
asking me if they ask me
Right?
for a fork, I give them a spoon. I'm sorry.
right.
Especially if we're eating at my house. How else are you going to get all that cheesy goodness?
Oh, here we go.
Mm-hmm.
Best use of time travel:
Okay.
to see the future or to change the past.
Isn't there like a bajillion movies about not going back?
Yes,
Past
there
to
is.
changing
There
it?
is. There is.
What is the best use of time
Best use
travel?
of time travel: to see the future or to change the past.
I would say change the past.
I would have went future.
Why? is
Why?
that?
Why do you go change the
Well,
past?
because like the future, if you go into the future and you see in the future that you are a successful CEO with this great spouse and these beautiful children,
Right.
and you go back to your time and place, aren't you just now changing your future because you know all this stuff and you're actively looking for this stuff and now you're not just letting it happen? how
Well, yeah,
you're
it's going to
supposed
change. Yeah. So why would you want to go in the past and do that? Why would you want to mess up your future?
I mean, you go into the past, there's a lot of things in our past we should probably change. I mean, genocide. There's a lot of genocide
Okay.
in this earth.
All right. So that actually brings up a conversation. So have you ever seen on Hulu the show 11/22/63?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Oh, is that the one where they go back in time in this like diner or something?
Yes. Have
I
you
remember-
watched that?
I've watched a few episodes. with
Okay,
when
if
it
you have
came
not
out.
watched this movie, it's phenomenal. First of all, it's a book by Stephen King, which I'm not a big Stephen King read all his books, but this book was the premise of this book is that there's an English teacher and he goes and eats lunch at this diner every day. And one day he's eating lunch or dinner or whatever, and the owner of the diner walks out from the back room and he's sickly and he looks 10 years older, and he confesses to Jake that in the basement of this diner is a doorway to a time travel. And every time you step into this door, it takes you back to the exact same time every time, some random date in 1957.
Mhm.
And then and no matter how long you stay in that time period, when you come back, only 2 minutes has passed in your existing time. So he could go back and spend 10 days, come back, it's only 2 minutes later in his time. Well, he had confessed to Jake that he had been going back and trying to stay long enough that he could change and prevent the JFK assassination, which is on 11/22/63. But as he's done that, he's gotten older because of that time, and he's gotten cancer now.
Because he doesn't stop aging when he's over there.
Right. Yes. You continue.
So, like, if
yes.
he's spending 10 years there.
Right. So when he may have left, he may have been 53, but when he came back now, he's actually 63 years old. So his body is 63 years old. And he got cancer during that time and so on and so on. So he convinces Jake he leaves the diner to Jake and then convinces him to go back and try to stop it. And Jake then goes back and he goes back a little bit and then comes back and tries a couple things or whatever. And he has a student, or he teaches night school as well. And there's a guy there and he goes back. I don't want to spoil it, but it's so freaking good.
Yeah.
Like the time period piece is really good. As a matter of fact, I might go rewatch it now that we're talking about it.
Now
it's so good.
I've been looking for new things to watch.
So it's on Hulu. Last I knew it was on Hulu. It might
okay.
still be on there. It's called 11/22/63. It's phenomenal. It's so good. So
I would go
my
back and
opinion,
change
one
that.
of Stephen King's best stories. What?
I said, I was just saying, I would go back and change the past.
The guy that plays Jake is the same guy that played Harry in the original Spider-Man movies with Tobey Maguire. So what's that guy's name? He played in like Pineapple Express.
Yeah,
and
Dave.
No, not Dave.
No.
Dave.
Harry. No, I'm thinking of his brother because what's their last name?
I don't
Franco?
know.
James
Franco. Yeah.
I was thinking of Dave Franco.
Yeah, James Franco. Yeah. It's really good. So again, and I would think, shout out to Ball Don't Lie, I would totally go and find out who's winning the next few weeks the games and then come back and bet those and make money.
Oh my god.
That's what I would do.
Isn't that like illegal?
No, how is it illegal?
Well, you have insider information.
But no, from a time travel machine,
but that's illegal.
Yeah, they really put that law in. They're like, hey, just in case you get a time travel machine, it's against the law to go find out who won Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Are you
lottery numbers? Did you do lottery numbers? You know, speaking of time travel,
no, I would totally bet.
Franchise I've never seen.
If you say Back to the Future, I'm going to punch you right in your face.
I've never seen any of the movies from Back to the Future.
Shut the front door.
Never.
I apologize, everybody, for being a terrible father.
Thank you. It's about time.
Okay, so your assignments now before the next episode is to watch the Back to the Future movies.
Ugh.
You can probably skip 3. Like 3's not super great, but
how many are there?
There's 3.
Okay.
It wraps it up, but it's not. It just feels like they mailed it in. To be honest with you.
Was it straight to DVD or did it go to?
No, it went to the theater.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, and then 11/22/63.
All right. Okay,
All right.
I'm gonna look.
Okay, one more, and then we're gonna get off here.
Too bad you don't. This would be good if we watched Game of Thrones.
I know, right? Because the last episode of Lost sucked. It pissed me off so much.
I don't know Siegfried and Roy. What is that?
What? It's only what was the question?
Better magician duo: Siegfried and Roy, Penn and Teller.
Well, first of all, it's Penn and Teller, but Siegfried and Roy, I went and saw in Vegas with Grandpa. No, I didn't get to go because it was a rated R show, and I had to stay back in the hotel, so I never got to see it.
Okay.
All right.
As somebody who had an outdoor bathroom in his life,
Yes.
underappreciated invention: indoor bathroom or household fridge?
I would definitely think it's household fridge.
I think an indoor bathroom is.
It's
underappreciated.
First of all, I can go to the bathroom still without an indoor bathroom.
Yeah.
I, however, cannot eat ice cream without a household.
Sure, you can.
What am I drinking it?
No, you can do it in the ground. Dude, that one wasn't a good one.
What kind of world do you think I lived in?
Okay, here's a good one. What would you rather be for the rest of your life? Would you rather be sticky for the rest of your life or itchy for the rest of your life?
Sticky 100%.
Really?
Yes, I'd rather be sticky.
Oh, I hate feeling sticky.
I constantly having to scratch myself. I mean, I do that now.
Which is the superior candy-related holiday?
Oh,
Halloween or Valentine's Day?
Now you're gonna piss me off because you know how much I can't stand Halloween.
But what's superior candy holiday?
Easter.
No, are you shitting me?
No, the Easter you get the
No,
Cadbury
it's not.
eggs.
You get way more candy on Halloween
You get
than you
Cadbury.
get at any other holiday.
Do you buy Cadbury eggs during Halloween? No.
No, because they're disgusting.
What?
They're disgusting.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are. They're way too sweet. Now, the Cadbury eggs with actual caramel in them, delicious. The stuff with that nasty white cream, no thanks.
What
Ooh,
she said. Sorry.
best narrator, Morgan Freeman, James Earl Jones.
It's Morgan
And I
Freeman.
do know who James Earl Jones is.
It's Morgan Freeman.
He is.
Morgan Freeman is much better at narrating. James
Mhm.
Earl Jones is a much famous, because the only thing that he's really ever narrated is the CNN commercials.
Okay.
This is wait, hold on.
Not the
Oh, that's the
CNN.
wrong one. Hold on.
This is CNN.
Didn't he do one? Who does the Allstate? Can you be the Allstate guy?
That's Micaiah Washington.
Allstate. You got to do the voice.
Okay, go ahead.
Allstate.
Okay, last one.
All right, last one. And then
How
we're
do you
getting
say this word? Carmel.
caramel? It's not caramel. That's stupid.
It's caramel.
Okay, we're all right.
It's
That's the end of
caramel
this.
sauce. Caramels. I like
All right.
caramel.
So we're gonna go ahead and end here, but we're gonna try to be a little more consistent here. It won't be like this setup. We did this so we could test some equipment.
I think we should try to
for-
do this once in a while. Though,
It might
'cause
be
this is
fun. Yeah, if we did it somewhere a little more open. I'm also dying of heat down here right now. I'm hot. I get the sweatshirt on. So.
Well, whose decision was that?
That was mine. Okay. All right.
Very
So
right.
check out the rest of the Three Beards Media podcast. We've got Old Man Strength tomorrow night with my friend Dave Campbell as our guest, with my partner Drew Shipley. Aaron's going to be out. And then we have Emily Ryan on an episode of Side of the Storm, point guard for the Iowa State women's basketball team. She'll be on. And then we have some special announcements coming up with the fall starts. And then we've got Hawk's Eye View Thursday night. So, and Ball Don't Lie on Friday morning.
I
So,
don't have any of that.
yeah, Caitlyn doesn't have any of that. She's got 2 days off, her and mom. So, what? She's not watching. Grandma's not watching. All right. We're out of here, everybody. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And with that, we are gone.